Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone today? I know I'm doing great because I'm playing more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. I'm really excited. We are in Alpha 3 and we are continuing on through some of the brand new Naval Academy missions. In Alpha 3, we had the Sink the Raiders mission that we did a couple days ago. We had the Meet the US battleships, which honestly wasn't necessarily that difficult. Mostly, I think, because I got a little lucky with a couple ammo detonations, but still. Oh, and so we took care of the meet the U.S. battleships, excuse me, and then today we are going to be trying the rise of the heavy cruiser. So what does that mean? Well, our objective is to test the strengths and weaknesses of the 1930s cruisers versus armored cruisers of older technology. So with this, the heavy cruisers of the new era focus on speed, maneuverability, and superb firepower or fire control systems. Guns and armor were historically limited due to naval treaties, but now you can design your cruisers without such limitations. Ooh, excellent. I'm really excited about this one. I love the idea of building. I know these are heavy cruisers, not battle cruisers, but I love the idea of battle cruisers. These, very big, large, but very fast and lightly armored boats that just can zoom in, fire their heavy guns, and then get out before anyone even knows what's happening. But anyway, our mission is to destroy 3 reconstructed armored cruisers that oppose us. Alright, the enemy ships should not be underestimated as their thicker armor and heavy guns can cripple your ships at short distances. Well, it sounds to me like we are going to be trying to fight from afar. So I think I'm going to keep my technology bonus to guns and fire control because it looks like we are going to be trying to fight from afar, and I like that gun aiming speed, base gun accuracy, and long range accuracy a lot. So we will go ahead and start here. Alright, so we have to build this Heavy Cruiser 1. Ooh, this is an interesting looking hull, isn't it? I like it. Anyway, this is Heavy Cruiser 1. It's the only option we have. We'll go ahead and we'll give it a shot and let's see what we can build. Alright, so this is admittedly a weird looking thing, and our 4-weight offset is super high, which may lead to our utter destruction on the battlefield. But I just want you to look at this thing. I have a bunch of 11-inch guns which are going to be shooting every 20 seconds. Yeah, that's right, every 20 seconds. That's almost 3 rounds, 3 volleys per minute. That's going to be great. I also have a couple 3-inch secondaries, a bunch of 5-inch secondaries, 3 double or triple turrets on the sides, 1 double turret here in the center, just to keep off anything a little bit lighter, although I know we're just going up against some older heavy cruisers, so my main guns are really where the work is going to be done. Just in an attempt to offset the weight a little bit, I actually put some torpedoes here on the rear, so if we get close enough and can fire some torpedoes, maybe you can see any ships that are chasing us. Well, we can. We are also extremely quick at 35 knots. With that said, though, that 4-weight offset is going to it's going to hamper us a little bit, but I'm excited to see what 2 of these heavy cruisers can do. Let's give it a shot. So, first things first, we seem to be a little bit out of range, although we have made visual contact with them. While we do have some radar on our vessels, that's going to help us with our aim. Turns out we did not need any help finding these ships. Now, they're about 17 kilometers away. I have not identified them yet. Let's go ahead and get a little bit closer as our ships start to fire their first volleys. We are trying to sink 3 kind of older heavy cruisers that have been modernized a little bit, as well as 2 destroyers. Let's go ahead and get in there. We have still yet to fully identify the enemy cruisers. However, you can see we are doing work against this one. We have locked on it, and we've gotten several good hits. They have some engine damage, and yeah, so it appears that this battle cruiser, well, it's not really a battle cruiser. It's going to be a heavy cruiser, but it appears that it is going to go ahead and try to turn away. Come on, get some more hits on it while it's retreating, please. As their destroyer's coming in a little too close for my comfort, I am going to go ahead and switch my attention towards it. I'm not necessarily worried about the destroyer's guns, but let's take a look. The destroyer does have torpedoes, and actually it has fired its torpedoes, so we need to watch out for torpedoes in the water. I'm actually going to go ahead and just make a hard turn. Let's maybe separate you and have you do a hard turn as well. I don't know where this torpedo is, but I did see that this ship fired its torpedo. I guess maybe that's the trail. Oh, it fired a bunch of torpedoes, so there they are. We'll have to watch out for it. Yeah, you can see them a little bit better from here. So, oh no, these are my torpedoes. Oh, okay. So I still don't know where this ship's torpedo is, but you can see I have fired 4 torpedoes right towards them. We'll go ahead and keep our maneuver going as we refocus our attention away from the destroyers, which are turning away, and on to one of these heavy cruisers. So we have identified these heavy cruisers. For instance, this is the heavy cruiser Guidon. It has 10-inch guns with barely any chance of hitting from this range. It has few bulkheads, so we should see pretty significant flooding damage if we can manage to hit it. You can see my guns are, however, firing on the Ernst Renan. It's a little French heavy cruiser back here. It also has few bulkheads. It seems to be of the same class. So if we can get some good hits on it, especially hits below the waterline, we will really start to do a number on them flooding-wise. Meanwhile, the Victor Hugo, it has lots of bulkheads, so we're going to have a hard time flooding it per se. But we've already done a lot of damage to its structure, so... And its top speed is quite decent at 30.5 kilometers. I thought these things would be a little bit slower. But... Alright, so these two ships are pretty slow at only 22.5. So really, it's this one, the Victor Hugo, that I think I'm most worried about. I will go ahead and just have my ships focus fire on it for a minute. Yeah, we've got decent enough chances of hitting. Now, something I want to consider is that, especially with the Victor Hugo, which doesn't necessarily have a ton of armor at only 7.4 inches, and the fact that I invested heavily in the, oh gosh, I forget what it's called, the type of charge that increases the damage output of my high explosive shells by quite a bit. So I'm actually just going to switch to high explosives. At this point, I'm actually feeling decent enough about this to where I'm not super worried about even if the high explosives isn't the most optimal way. Looks like they have shot torpedoes, so I need to be watching out for that. Let's go ahead and maybe turn directly towards the torpedoes, as well as, since they seem to be in fairly close range, let's focus in on this destroyer real quick. So I'm spending my time looking for torpedoes in the water. I don't necessarily see them. So I'm going to go ahead and just revert to course. Oh, what is this? Oh, I guess that was the torpedo. Oh, well, I'm glad it notified me. It was a torpedo, maybe not the all of the torpedoes. But in the meantime, these destroyers are getting way too close for comfort. So let's please just keep hammering them. This must be a new part of the Alpha 3. It goes ahead and alerts you to where these torpedoes are. It looks like we are just going to cause them to waste their torpedoes. Although, let's make sure that you don't inadvertently run in and hit one. This is where those light guns on our heavy cruisers really come in handy. Those 5-inch guns are able to keep the pressure on these destroyers. Alright, now that we're going to miss these torpedoes, I'm going to go ahead and start looping back around. Let's have the steer once again focus on the Victor Hugo. Yes, indeed, it looks like one of those destroyers is easily going to be taken down. And we'll go ahead and just for the moment focus on this other destroyer. especially while this heavy cruiser refocuses its efforts on the Victor Hugo. After that, I only have 8 torpedoes remaining on the Dessau. I have 11 torpedoes remaining on the Steyr. I might think about trying to get in a little bit closer and trying to take down some of these ships with torpedoes. So once this destroyer got a little bit closer, we really started doing a lot of damage to it. I am worried about their torpedoes. It does appear like they have torpedoes in the water. Yep, they do. So we are going to go ahead and just turn away from those. I love how oh my gosh, look at all the torpedoes they shot. But it's all going to be for naught because look how maneuverable the Dessau is. I'm able to just pop it out of the way. I'm loving these ships, actually. Nope, nope, nope. Let's make sure they don't turn right back into those torpedoes. That must have been just like an all-out charge. They knew that they were going to sink, and so they had to fire all their torpedoes in a hurry. In the meantime, the Steyr is actually doing a pretty decent job. Oh! More torpedoes, more torpedoes. Turn, turn, turn. May not avoid these. I just noticed it at the last minute. Yep, may not avoid this one. I did invest in anti-torp 1. So, but the Dessau looks like it's going to take a torpedo hit. Right in the middle of the ship. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, I wasn't watching, and that's what happened. We, however, shot our torpedoes at this destroyer, which does not seem to be moving very quickly, so maybe we'll be able to defeat it. I was worried about these destroyers. I was worried about these destroyers and their torpedoes. Although, if this is the damage, yeah, they're going to cause a little bit of flooding to the front of our ship, which we already had some weight issues there anyway. But our bulkhead should limit the flooding. Oh, I don't know. See, this is one of the reasons why it was not great. Okay, sink that destroyer as punishment, Dessau. Come on. But this is one of the reasons why it wasn't great to have all of that weight pushed in the front. Either way, the Steyr is still doing an amazing job on the Victor Hugo, as it is close to just being dead in the water. I'm going to go ahead and turn so I can fire a few more guns at it. And the Dessau will just... At this point, I don't think there's any reason to go after the Triumphant destroyer anymore. Let's refocus our efforts on the Victor Hugo and try not to worry about the destroyer. It, I think, is going to be pretty much out of action, although it would have been nice if we could have hit those torpedoes there. But yeah, and in fact, the Triumphant's going to sink on its own. There we go. So the Victor Hugo is going to sink, and now we are able to focus all of our fire on these last 2 heavy cruisers. I think... Let's focus on the Ernest Reagan for now, and we'll also turn towards it. We can go catch it. We have a significantly faster fleet than they do. Granted, your speed is significantly reduced. Yeah, maybe I should restate. The Steyr is significantly faster at 35 knots eventually. So it should be able to catch the Ernst Renan. And indeed, just, I mean, I'm on speed, you know, ×5, but just look at all of the damage I'm doing on the Ernst Renan. Go ahead and put it back to normal speed, and just look at all these shells coming in. Is this going to be another great hit? Oh yeah, that wasn't too bad. And we're going to cause more flooding. They have minimal bulkheads, or few bulkheads, so... Uh-oh. Do I see a torpedo in the water? I do. Wait. Let me get my buttons sorted out. I don't think it was coming anywhere. All right, it's right there. So it's not coming anywhere near our ships. So we're still good. Oh, but these two torpedoes also appear like they are going to safely miss us. So I'll tell you what, oh, there goes the Ernst Renan. Perfect. We'll watch it sink beneath the waves for a second. I just love the way this game looks. It's kind of like, I cannot wait for the game to fully release and we have the campaign mode. Depending on how this campaign goes, this could be like my dream game. I love good naval simulator strategy games like this. Big fan of Rule the Waves as well. It seems like this is going to be Rule the Waves with 3D battles, which I am all for. Also just all for some good old-fashioned classic Rule the Waves and Rule the Waves 2. Both of them are excellent games. Highly recommend them if you've never tried them. Are they going to get a lucky torpedo strike here? Let's turn out of the way fast. Oh, but we're going to be unable to limit flooding, so we're going to sink. And it's going to be a one-on-one fight. Yeah, because this torpedo is going to hit us. We're on fire. We're going to sink. I'm saddened. Well, actually, we're not going to do any more flooding damage. I'm actually going to go ahead and just lower the speed here to basically nothing and see if I can just keep it afloat and use it as a floating gun battery for just a minute or two while it can do maybe a little bit more damage. Yeah, because their ship is also flooding heavily. Come on, stay alive. Oh, and the Dessau sinks, unfortunately. However, it did an admirable job, and the Steyr should be able to defeat the Guedon and then hopefully come back and pick up the... Yep, and there we go. So hopefully the Steyr will come back and pick up the Dessau's survivors, but the Steyr was really the MVP. I think it sank every single heavy cruiser, whereas the Dessau really had to focus on those destroyers. We did complete the mission. We were successful. That was the Rise of the Heavy Cruiser. I actually really liked that one. I don't necessarily think I built the best heavy cruisers, but they were good enough to complete the scenario, and I found the scenario a ton of fun. Next time on our adventures through the Naval Academy of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, we will be trying the mission There Can Be Only One, and I am super excited about this one, so make sure you check it out. Hit that subscribe button so that you see all my videos if you like them, and hey, if you like them, why don't you hit the like button as well? Alright, thank you. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're enjoying Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, and I will check you on the next one.